Mostly cloudy skies with a few scattered rain showers this morning. Slowly, we'll start to see some sun this afternoon, and this will help warm us up. 78 this afternoon, 58 tonight, and then partly sunny tomorrow with a high right around 82. We should be in the low 80s tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
This fine award-winning program can be seen and heard all across Southwest Michigan and the world. I saw somebody actually commented on one of our videos because I asked yesterday, now, where are you people watching this from?
Oh.
And I'm not saying like, tell me what room in the house you are. Like, hey, I have this while I'm on in the shower or the bathroom or when I'm in the kitchen making breakfast.
Right.
No, I want to just know like where location wise around the world. And somebody said they were watching from Sweden. Now, I don't know if that was like a robot or
was
something.
their last name Lundberg?
You have some Swedes over there, right?
Yeah.
It's Lundberg. That's Swedish.
That's the heritage.
Huh. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're watching this right now, I'd love to know where you're watching it from, whether you be in Southwest Michigan or around the world. Because that's why we're doing the live stream, because it's a little bit of, getting out there, but also giving everyone that's in Southwest Michigan the behind the scenes look of what happens, how, kind of the peek under the hood. You want to, see how everything works and kick the tires a little bit.
Yeah.
You can check that out, but also get some, as we were talking about earlier with Elon Musk, you get some premium content for free.
That's right.
By us
We're not charging.
Being on there.
Get what you pay for.
Some things going on in the news this morning I want to talk about is the guys that attempted to kidnap the governor. They were recently on trial, and the attorney general has some things to say about the whole thing.
There have been a number of trials, and pretty much without exception, up until recently, they were convicted and put away for their period of time.
Sure.
Michigan's attorney general is suggesting that conservative politics played a role in the recent acquittal of 3 men in the final trial related to the plan to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Like Whitmer, Dana Nessel is a Democrat by party. She told what's called a liberal group, according to the Associated Press, on Monday that the trial was held in a very right-leaning county and that had an impact on the verdict. William Null, twin brother Michael Null, and Eric Molitor were found not guilty of providing material support for the scheme's leaders last week. They were the last of 14 men to face charges in state or federal courts. Nessel says the verdicts last week were terrifying. A former federal prosecutor, Matthew Schneider, says the remarks were inappropriate and that it's not helpful to trash the American jury system. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Attorney General for Michigan getting out there on that one.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a video of her remarks to that group that wasn't supposed to get out, but it did.
Oh.
And that's where the remarks were found.
See, why don't people realize that anything you say, like when you get arrested, anything you say can and will be used against you, like that means everything. Not just like once you get the handcuffs put on you. It's like, no, anytime you're doing anything, somebody's going to say stuff. So, I mean,
and sometimes not even just in a court of law. It could be the court of public opinion, which it is here.
Exactly. It could be, conversation between two people. There's, when people say,
got the cameras on,
this is off the record. And it's like, unless you have a signed written agreement that says it's off the record. I mean, if something's juicy, you get something off the record. It's one of those where it's like, I can't really make that off the record all the time.
That might be your standard.
Yeah.
My standard is there are 3 degrees. One is on the record.
Yeah.
One is background information, which essentially means tell me what you're going to tell me and I will use it, but I will use it as context for helping to shape my story, helping to write the story. And if I want it attributable to you, I will ask you. And then thirdly is the off the record, which that is the foundation of journalist trust.
Sure.
And if you are a journalist, as I am, and you say it's off the record, it's off the record. And if you bring it back on, you burn a source, you get out, then you're no longer in the biz. So I think it depends on which journalist it is.
Yeah.
But there's also a reason why people tell you stuff off the record. That's because they eventually want it to come on the record, but nowhere near from them.
Exactly. That's how I am. I mean, as I am also a fine award-winning journalist, it's one of those things that's like, if you wanted this to be off the record, why'd you even bring it up? Like it's like, hey, can you keep a secret? And it's like, well, yeah, but it depends on how juicy that secret is. And if it's, if I could, end up getting in trouble for keeping that secret, because that's what I'm always worried about. It's like, you're going to tell me this and you can trust me, but it depends on what you're going to tell me. If you're telling me some really juicy stuff that then me having that knowledge of said thing could then hurt me, I would just say.
So you're kind of like a doctor lawyer type deal.
Yeah. Like, yeah, this is off the record. And I usually preface it with like, okay, how juicy is this? And they're like, oh, it's pretty juicy. Then I'll be like, then I don't want to know. Just leave it out there. Just don't tell me at all because I don't want to know that stuff.
Yeah.
Because
in this case, there was no on the record, off the record. It was just, hey, I'm in front of this group. I don't know if this one was a fundraiser or something like that, but it was a group of like-minded, politically like-minded people. And she made the comments. Somebody had videotape rolling, got out.
Ah, darn.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up happening with all that. But I guess the governor was upset about the whole decision as well.
I think a lot of people were. Yeah.
So other things going on in the news. I ran across this. When you were growing up, most parents, you had a minivan, especially if you had a lot of kids. I grew up with 4 brothers.
Yeah.
So we had a big old minivan.
Like a bus.
It wasn't a bus. It was, I don't know how we drove that thing all the way down to Florida to go to Disney World and Universal Studios.
Oh boy.
I don't know how we did that comfortably. We had enough seats and enough seat belts for everybody, but that was about it. How we fit all the suitcases and all that. My dad must have been really good at Tetris.
Oh boy.
But over the years, people have questioned the safety of a minivan. They're very popular to fit all the kids in there, but new research found they're not doing a very good job at protecting the people in your back seat. Here's the thing. When you sit in a minivan, half the time, let's be honest, do you wear the seatbelt?
You should.
I mean, you should.
Do kids not?
Probably not. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
dear.
if they're in the car seat and all that stuff, yeah, they're going to do that. But I know as an adult, when I sit and if somebody's got a minivan, and
you're not wearing a seatbelt?
No.
What?
No.
Oh, come
not
on.
in a minivan.
You got to wear a seatbelt.
All right.
For your own safety. I have a lot of safety questions about minivans when you're
okay.
ready.
The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety tested 4 types of minivans by crashing them into walls. Now, the driver was fine, but the little ones, not so much. They say that the risk of fatal injury for them is 46% higher.
Huh. I'm trying to envision the test that they have for that. Are they just putting a test van on a centrifuge arm and just like swinging it around into a wall? How do they do that?
I mean, they probably just do all their basic crash test stuff that they do, and they realized, hey, that trash. We're focusing so much on that front end of the vehicle. Yeah, maybe there's some side curtains and all that stuff.
Like
yeah.
That.
I don't trust airbags sometimes, man.
I don't trust minivans.
Yeah.
My dad always said, we're never getting a minivan, and don't drive around minivans because typically they have 4 or 5 kids in them. And so the driver might be a little distracted.
Right.
So you don't want to be like right next to them or, not paying attention when you're around a minivan, because the driver of that minivan, maybe more times than not, has a distraction coming their way.
Right.
Maybe someone's throwing a toy at their head or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you got to wear your seatbelt.
Oh, I mean,
everywhere.
If I'm road tripping, I'm not always going to wear the seatbelt because, it may not be comfortable in the back seat.
Dear.
If I'm way in the back.
Shaking my head.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook, you'd see me shaking my head at Johnny right now.
Well, if we're road tripping, there's a good chance I'm probably not going to wear it. They don't have the warnings usually. When the dash goes off, usually it's just a regular sedan. They don't have the safety belt indicators on all the seatbelt places. So yeah, I mean, if I don't have to wear a seatbelt on a school bus,
But a school bus, because it's so big,
sure.
and I mean, you have a lot of room to fly before you hit something.
Yeah, but in the minivan, I got all the toys and all the other
cushion toys.
things
Yeah.
that I could, all the plush toys and the pillows and blankets and all that. I'll be fine.
So what are they thinking? Are they thinking go back to the standard size van?
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
They're probably going to start making some changes with how those vehicles are.
Yeah, with the airbag curtains, I'm with you. Sometimes if they come down on top of you or they pop you in the face,
Right.
you're getting a broken nose.
Yeah. I mean, that the front, like I've never been in a front head-on collision where an airbag has
wood.
gone off, knock on wood. But yeah, you sustain some more injuries from that than you do from the actual car accident. I mean, of course, you could have a fatal accident if you don't have an airbag
or seatbelt.
Yeah.
But I think part of the facial injuries from the airbag are due to people driving with the 10 and 2 versus the 9 and 3.
Right.
Because when I learned driving, it was 10 and 2. Now it's 9 and 3, so that you don't get the fist pop in the face if your airbag deploys.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna but the IIHS did launch the updated moderate overlap front test last year after research showed that in newer vehicles the risk of fatal injury now higher for belted occupants in the second row than those in the front. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, how they're gonna make changes with some of this stuff. But we'll wait and see. For those people that are minivan owners and you're listening to this fine award-winning program, I don't know. You may need to change the vehicle up, or they'll look at new ways to design. They're making minivans cooler. I've noticed.
Prove it.
They look cooler on the inside. Like
on the
when
inside.
they do like the commercials for like I think it's like the Chrysler Pacifica. It's like, I mean, I don't have kids, but I would like more room in my vehicle.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. A lot of luxury type stuff in there, like TVs and just about everywhere you look.
I was riding yesterday back from Wisconsin, and the cup holders were premium in the vehicle. There were no cup holders to be found. There's like one for the driver, and then the driver's phone was in the other one.
Really?
Yeah. And so I had to hold my coffee the whole time. And Lorraine, she said, well, yeah, I mean, I used to have a minivan, and it had literally 17 cup holders in the front. Probably had twice as many in the back.
I did see one van, and this is why I'm talking luxury and perfect for families. I saw one that had a built-in vacuum cleaner.
Oh, that makes sense.
Genius.
I like that.
Genius idea.
Yeah. Now, if they added a steam option to it, that'd be better.
Right. Or just, they made some cars like this before where you could just open up the doors and just hose the thing off. It was more for like people that go outdoors and, hiking and all that. You're bringing in all this dirt. You can just open up the doors, hose it off. They need to do that with minivans.
They should make them linoleum. Everything linoleum or AstroTurf.
Right. AstroTurf or just Rhino line the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
That's the solution there.
Yeah. Auto workers are out of work right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come up with all the design ideas and people can go with that. We'll catch you up with some other things going on in the news and sports and your Bloomberg Market Minute. That's all next. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Just as the roots of a run deep, Sturgis Bank is committed to seeing our hometowns flourish. We'll help you buy a home, start a business, or expand your company. Our commitment to local decision-making shows our wholehearted investment in the places we call home, like no other banking institution. Experience the Sturgis Bank difference. Highly personal service, long-time community support, and a desire to do right by the people we serve. Visit SturgisBank.com to learn more.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your Shamrock Impact Update, informing you of the ways in which Berrien Springs Public Schools makes a difference through innovation and creativity in education. Berrien Springs Public Schools offers...
How's everyone's morning going so far? Are you enjoying the day? Should be a pretty nice day today.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. What else is going on? I saw, do you want to talk about this later? A dinosaur for sale. You want to buy a dinosaur?
What would you do with a dinosaur?
Depending on the size, I mean, it'd be a great conversation piece in my in my living room.
What's the dinosaur?
Very well preserved dino skeleton named Barry, going to be sold at an auction in Paris next month.
Oh,
It's the Camptosaurus.
Camptosaurus.
Dates back to the late Jurassic period, some 150 million years ago.
Can they get DNA out of it and replicate it and make a park called Jurassic Park?
I mean, probably.
That'd
I mean,
be
they
kinda
did it
fun.
in the movie.
Yeah.
The guy who discovered this in Wyoming was a paleontologist named Barry.
Wait. They discovered it in Wyoming, in the United States.
And now it's in Paris.
It's going to be auctioned off in Paris?
It's expected to get up to $1.5 million when it goes on sale October 20th.
How do they know it's not an elk?
I don't know. I mean, it probably looks kind of like a dinosaur. I don't know how big this Camptosaurus is, but yeah, it's just Camptosaurus.
Okay.
Camptosaurus.
Oh, that's a big one. It kind of looks, well, the bones look a little bit like a T-Rex, but then it looks like a brontosaurus, a small brontosaurus. And it doesn't look too much larger than a man.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of looks like a Toyota Tundra next to a man.
Yeah, so you could fit it in your house.
Sure.
If you got tall enough ceilings.
Barry.
That's
funny.
The Camptosaurus named Barry. It would be cool to have in my house.
That would be really cool. You'd have to have a room specially for it, though.
Yeah, and you'd also have to have $1.5 million.
Well,
so your house better be big enough to hold that thing.
Well, and then you have to have shipping.
That's
How
true.
you gonna get
It's
that
coming
thing home?
I don't want to have to put that thing together. I don't think it's going to be as easy as putting something together from IKEA. I don't think there's directions on how to put this thing together. There might be. It might be like color coded or something.
That doesn't look quite right.
Yeah. Why is his head upside down?
Do you know what Camptosaurus translates out into?
No.
Flexible lizard.
Oh, okay.
So
I can fit it around the corner.
It could run at 16 miles an hour.
How do they know that?
That's what they say here. 16 miles an hour.
They don't know how fast they are.
That's
really?
what it says. And it lived 161 million years ago.
That's what I'm going to say when I die. Like, there's just going to be a little description on my gravestone. It's like, yeah, he could run like 35 miles per hour, super fast.
Fastest man on the planet.
Fastest man.
What's going to happen?
No one's going to say anything to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's on your gravestone. You paid for it. You got it. All right.
Camptosaurus.
We're going to catch you up in the news in just a little bit. We'll find out what's going on in the markets with your Bloomberg Market Minute right now.
For GM and Stellantis in the most recent quarter, with more than $38 billion of revenue at risk. Disney is doubling down on investing in its parks and resorts business, planning to pour $60 billion into that segment over the next decade. The company said it has over 1,000 acres of land that it could develop and cited the increased profits it has seen over past years from investing in rides, cruise ships, and other attractions tied to its movies and characters. Investors may not like the idea of all the spending. Shares slid yesterday. The Fed is projected to pause its interest rate hikes today for the second time this year, but officials are expected to leave the door open for another increase as early as November, and stocks slipped in yesterday's trading. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Right at 7:30, it's Wednesday. Today going to be a pretty decent day. A small chance for some rain and then partly cloudy, high 78. Later on tonight, cloudy, low down to 58. And then partly sunny on Thursday, high 82. So 80, mid to low 80s for the rest of the week. So we got that to look forward to.
I'm checking my thermostat right now to make sure. Oh, it's off. I better turn it back on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just to make sure the air conditioning kicks back in.
Yeah, you can check it from your phone?
Oh, yeah.
That's fancy.
I can turn it on, turn it off. I can mess with the temperature.
Oh, you have an actual control on there. I thought you were just getting text messages from your butler.
Ah.
It says, sir, we need to put another coal in the fire.
I reached out to him and said, can you check is the thermostat on right now? Just run down and see.
Yeah. Stop making my afternoon tea.
Quit making room for the Camptosaurus.
Oh, geez. Well, lots of things going on in the news this morning. Let's find out what's happening.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Here's a glance at some of the stories we're following for you. Friday will make a week since the United Auto Workers strike against the big three automakers started. In a social media post, UAW President Shawn Fain said, Friday is also the deadline for some progress in negotiations. Otherwise, he says the strike will expand. Benton Harbor City Commissioners have approved several infrastructure projects. That includes the reconstruction of Division and Columbus Streets. Sidewalk replacement is also coming. Look for improvements on Thresher, Monroe, Union, Hastings, and Territorial. More sidewalks could be added to that list later if they could find the funding. Police in Benton Harbor are advising people to watch out for coyotes. There have been some coyote sightings around town. The Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety posted to Facebook this week that if you see one, you should stay away from it. The DNR says coyotes almost never attack people. If you see one, make yourself bigger than what you might normally be. Just wave your hands and shout.
I never want to look bigger than I already do.
Look bigger than when there's a coyote threatening you, maybe. Do you say coyote or coyote?
I say both.
Okay.
Coyote, yeah.
Yeah.
Or coyote. Yeah, I'm more coyote.
Coyote?
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Not Wile E. Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always say coyote, but coyote, I think, is the more accepted term these
Right.
days. Anyway, in the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
We'll have to just talk about all those things
Watch out,
in just a
road
little
runners.
bit. Watch out for the road runners. Yeah. Does he have an Acme
Subscription.
Anything with him?
Anvil of the Month Club.
Yeah. No dynamite that he's also holding on to. Yeah, I would be worried. I would just say make myself not look bigger, but make myself not look like a road runner.
Yes.
If I could not look like a road runner, he's not going to want to go after me.
Yeah, we should talk about that because the old cartoons have a road runner that looks nothing like reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll check in with Dave Wolf, talk sports in just a moment. Right now, let's find out what's going on across the state with the Michigan News Network.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. Ford has a deal with auto workers in Canada. Unifor leaders releasing a statement saying, in part, this painstaking work has resulted in fundamental transformative gains that address their core priorities of pensions, wages, and the EV transition. Meanwhile, it's day 6 of the UAW strike against the Detroit Three. Talks continue. An employee of the Grand Rapids Public Schools has died in a workplace accident. Grand Rapids Schools says the worker was helping to maintain the Briggs Field athletic facility using a riding lawnmower when the accident occurred Tuesday. They say no children were around when it happened. Solving Michigan's declining population in 9 steps. Jace Bolger, West Michigan Policy Forum policy advisor and former Speaker of the Michigan House, has submitted to the state their recommendations and findings from a recent study. He says creating an atmosphere of growth is better than creating incentives. I'm Beth Fisher for the Michigan News Network.
Have you lost Michigan Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All contractors working with Michigan businesses can win more projects by including energy-efficient rebates in your proposals. These rebates are provided by Michigan utility companies for contractors and customers completing construction projects using energy-efficient equipment. DNV, our local sponsor, can help you start your rebate journey. Visit dnvtradeally.com to learn how energy-efficient rebates can help you win more bids. That's dnvtradeally.com.
It looks like we're getting a little closer to another government shutdown as a group of hardline Republicans is holding out for more budget cuts. ABC's Rachel Scott has more from Capitol Hill.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy facing increasing pressure to unite his party and avert a government shutdown. I don't think it's right that government shuts down, and that's why I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen.
But the rebellion within his own ranks leaves McCarthy in a perilous situation. Some even calling him a weak speaker, threatening to oust him. It's the biggest test for the speaker since the debt ceiling showdown, with members of his own caucus demanding deeper spending cuts and stricter border policies.
President Biden addressing world leaders at the UN General Assembly. Among his messages, don't give up on the war in Ukraine. The plea coming as more Republicans in Congress say they're no longer willing to vote in favor of funding for the war. President Zelensky visits Washington tomorrow. Federal Reserve wrapping up its two-day meeting today. Most analysts think they will keep interest rates steady. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Major League Baseball from Tuesday night. It was the LA Dodgers over the Detroit Tigers 3-2. The Tigers are back at the Dodgers again tonight at 10:10, a 9:40 pregame show on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM. The Nationals beat the White Sox 4-3. The Sox are at the Nationals this afternoon at 1:05, and the Cubs over the Pirates 14-1. The Cubs and Pirates meet again tonight at 7:40 at Wrigley Field. WNBA playoffs last night. New York over Washington 90-85 in overtime to win that series 2-0. And Dallas beat Atlanta 101-74. Dallas wins that series 2-0. Tonight, Connecticut is at Minnesota at 8 o'clock. That series is tied at 1-1. And junior college sports from last night. In volleyball, it was Lake Michigan College over Glen Oaks Community College 3-0. And Lansing Community College beat Southwestern Michigan College 3-0. With sports, I'm Dave Wolf.
Dave Hamlin from Serene Water Gardens talks about the importance of fall maintenance.
Water features are not high.
I don't know if you were watching sports ball when you were over in Wisconsin, Ken.
Yeah.
But
it was hard not to show up the first day of the meeting. Everyone's got their
Packer gear.
on.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
we met on Sunday.
Good
all day
old
Sunday.
Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they lost in the last moments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you got there like on
Saturday.
Yeah,
I got there Saturday, and then Sunday, everyone shows up with their Packer stuff. And they're grousing. It's like, why aren't we breaking for the Packers game?
Oh,
yeah,
so you had to meet during the Packer game? Oh my gosh, that's like sacrilegious, man.
Yeah. But they did pause to get an update on the game.
Oh, of course.
When they lost.
Why wouldn't you just put it on the screen somewhere?
Well, because then no one would get any work
like
done.
do the presentation of whatever it then
picture
just
in picture.
Yeah, a little picture in picture right on the corner, even just like a ticker.
So about this HR issue, anyone have any input on that? Yeah, go.
Just like if you're watching our live stream right
Our
now, you see the
award-winning
little
live stream, yes.
ticker at the bottom. Just put a little ticker at the bottom, like what the play by play was happening for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost though, didn't they?
They did.
That's
Falcons,
unfortunate. Bears lost too. Lions also got a loss.
Seahawks got them, right?
Well, no. Let me look. Yeah,
Okay.
Seahawks did get them. Yeah, because they won against the Chiefs by 1. But yeah, Seahawks did get them.
Yeah.
So are you a Seahawks fan? Because I know you had some Seattle.
I used to follow them a bit.
Yeah, at some point, I would like to see the Seattle Supersonics come back.
Yes, me too.
I think that needs to happen. They have a stadium for the Kraken, the Krakens or whatever they are.
They have at least 3 different stadiums. One for baseball, one for football, one for hockey. And the one that's used for hockey used to be used for basketball.
That was the Supersonic Stadium, yeah.
The Key Arena, yeah.
But they revamped that one,
They
didn't they?
demolished it. And,
Yeah.
started over.
Because I think there was talks about was it Jeff Bezos? They were talking about him buying up some sports team. At one point, he was in the negotiations for the Washington football team or the Commanders,
That's
and
right.
then all of a sudden they were like, "Well, what about having a Seattle team instead of football? Maybe why don't you just bring back the Supersonics?" With his money, he could buy all of the sports franchises in the NFL if he wanted to. Even the Dallas Cowboys, that I think are valued at the most for anybody.
Ridiculously overvalued, probably.
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
Nah. It's America's team.
Oh, boy.
That's the question. Is that really America's team?
Absolutely not. I
I think at one point it was, but I would lean towards America's team being more, maybe that's hard to say. because everybody has their own affinity regionally for most of the teams.
Detroit, because they play every Thanksgiving, and you got to root for
Yeah.
them. That's America's team.
I would rank, if you were going to say the top 10 teams to be considered as America's team,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely put the Lions ahead of the Cowboys.
Where would you stack the Lions and the Bears?
Bears have become the Chicago Cubs as the lovable losers, but I don't think they've considered themselves as being such an international team like the Cubs.
Do you want a valuation of what the teams are worth right now, the top NFL teams?
Well, I think the most valued is the Dallas Cowboys.
That's
still,
true.
Right?
$9.2 billion.
Oh yeah.
Next is Los Angeles Rams, which how in the world are they worth something?
Yeah, they're pretty. They won though, I think, over the weekend.
About $7 billion for them. New England Patriots, $6.7 billion, and then the San Francisco 49ers, $6.1 billion.
The Rams don't even have their own stadium. They share it with the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know. $6.9 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Chicago Bears, still reasonable, $6 billion valuation. Yeah. How do you value a team at $6 billion? How much revenue are they bringing in every year?
You got to think of all that stuff that they're doing with all the sales of all the merchandise and popularity of the team and all that stuff.
That's something.
Oh, yeah.
But you can get hurt at a game.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment, about some of the things that happened at some football games over the weekend.
Skies with a few scattered rain showers this morning. Slowly, we'll start to see some sun this afternoon, and this will help warm us up. 78 this afternoon, 58 tonight, and then partly sunny tomorrow with a high right around 82. We should be in the low 80s tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
Hey, it's Fred Upton, and you're listening to The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. Be part of the show anytime. You can always call 925-WSJM. You can email let's talk at WSJM.com. We were just throwing up so like in football when I don't know, when you watch sports ball, I know you don't watch a lot of it, but they'll throw up like hand signals and things like that.
Yes.
I was throwing up some of those to figure out exactly the order of things that we wanted to talk about this morning, because there's so many things. And this show, the way it goes, it adapts throughout the morning, because we'll see stuff on the news, we'll see things going on, we'll have conversation, and it's like, wait, this is something that we need to talk. We need to dive deeper about. Just saw this.
See, I was just going to say it, because the secret sauce here is you take this information, you take it to the water cooler, all of a sudden you look like the most knowledgeable person.
Absolutely.
So this is what we're doing for you. This is our public service.
We cover the whole gamut of topics. This came across the screen while watching the news just a moment ago, and that is somebody died.
Oh, this is not good. Yeah. This came out of Massachusetts. Associated Press reporting a man who died at a New England Patriots home game last weekend was punched at least twice in the head.
Oh my gosh.
During a fight in the stands with a rival team fan, a witness said on Tuesday. Police and safety personnel responded to the upper deck at Gillette Stadium shortly before 11 p.m. Sunday and found 53-year-old Dale Mooney of Newmarket, New Hampshire, in apparent need of medical attention. According to the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, Mooney was taken to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Wow. The Massachusetts State Police are investigating what the district attorney termed an incident, not an accident, an incident at the stadium. A witness shot video of what they are calling a brutal fight.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not something you ever expect when you go to a football game, is that, well, there's a good chance your chances of dying. That's crazy.
Yeah. The results of the autopsy are expected later on this week.
Oh my gosh. Not sure if you didn't have a chance to really watch too much of the sports ball to see all the stuff that was going on.
No, because we got there Saturday afternoon, evening, and then Sunday meetings.
Yeah.
Meetings all day. There were a bunch of people wearing Packers jerseys, but.
And you didn't even have a chance to watch Monday Night Football either?
I seem to remember that it was on. somewhere.
Someone
on
was
a
yelling at the
TV.
television,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. And then I noticed some people wearing similar uniforms that I thought, that might be
They
sports
were
ball.
throwing a ball back and forth.
I was watching Monday Night Football, and it's the teams that I'm like, all right, I really have no vested interest in any of these teams, but it's always fun to watch any type of football. The Steelers and the Browns, it was a pretty good game until the craziest thing happened. You see people get injured a lot in sports, but this one was so gruesome that they did not want to show the replay of the injury.
Oh, what happened?
So Nick Chubb, who's one of the best running backs in the league, has had knee injuries in the past, but he got hit and his knee went a direction that your knee should never even consider going. And as soon as it happened, all the commentators, they said, we just watched the replay. We're not even going to show that to you because it was, when they say that, it's that bad, because there's been other injuries in the past for other athletes that they're just like, oh yeah, let's watch that video. Let's check it out from a different angle. They said, no, this one was so bad. They were like, nah. Just watching or seeing a couple still images of it and seeing the video, even just in real time, was like immediately had just chills running through my body because
that makes
it was
my stomach turn.
Yeah, my knees are hurting. Yeah, it extended a way that it should not have.
Well, what kind of field were they playing on?
They were on a grass field.
So it was natural grass.
It was natural grass.
Okay.
And that was another thing that because a lot of people have been saying we need to be switching from turf to natural grass.
So that had no bearing on this.
No,
one.
I think it was just literally the way the player hit his leg.
Ouch.
Because he tried to tackle him and he was tackling low, but it was fine. It wasn't illegal or anything like that. But just hit it right there, and that thing bent a way that it bent the other way, basically.
Have they given any updates on?
He is out for the season. And he has injuries to, I believe, just about every tendon you can think of in there. It's like the MCL, the PCL. It's pretty much all of those.
Wish him all the best.
Yeah. So hopefully he gets back. Because I knew he had previous injuries in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that leg, his left leg. So I was like, I don't think he's going to ever come back.
Wow.
Because there's some players that get hit. I mean, Joe Theismann comes to mind that he got hit in the leg. He didn't play anymore. Or he played a little bit, but he never came back the same. So I'm not sure. I'd like to see him come back because he's a great player, but that might be
it.
A career ender. We'll just have to wait and see because I don't even know if he's gone. I assume he's had surgery already because it happened on Monday. They're pretty quick with those athletes to get the surgery done.
Yeah.
So other things going on in the news. You see this? It looks like with now, I've noticed this school year, lunch is free
in Michigan
for kids across the state of Michigan. And they're talking about the possibility of saying, hey, this seems to be working.
Yep.
What about the idea of just doing this all the time? I think it's a great idea. And I'm sure this bill, I feel like it will pass. What do you think? Free lunch for all kids.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is in the budget for the 23-24 school year, the legislature, controlled by Democrats, passed a provision that said all 1.4 million public school children will receive nutritious free meals at school all year long. That's $160 million appropriation.
Okay.
So it's in there. The governor signed it and proclaimed it as, this is a big win, according to the governor, for Michigan's public school children. Again, $160 million. And great idea.
That's expensive.
If you have the money.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that the legislature did this year was they said, hey, we have a huge surplus.
Sure.
Let's meet a lot of our priorities. That surplus went way down.
Yeah.
And so they say, perhaps they could do this. And I think you're right. I think they could probably pass it. But again, you're thinking about $160 million. Is there any means testing? Should there be any means testing? Is that going to come at the expense of anything else that the state has deemed a priority? All unclear, but
Right.
I'm sure they'll air it out.
Yeah, and the $160 million, can they sustain that throughout that many years, or figure out some sort of way for it to pay for itself, some sort of fund, that endowment fund or some sort of thing that comes about it? But also, two, is it, over the years, will it be a nutritious meal? Like, will they have to, if they don't have the $160 million, but they still want to make the lunch free, will they say, okay, well, we're going to have to cut costs where we can, wherever, and it'll be nutritious, but maybe not the best thing that kids are getting.
Yeah. And really, at the core of it, they want the bill sponsor, Dane Polhanke, said that they want to eliminate the stigma and hunger.
Yeah.
And they say if they can do that, that's a game changer for students.
Absolutely, because that, I know when there's either free and reduced lunch or any of those programs, that's just another thing for kids to bully you about.
Right.
And bullying is at a very, it's at its highest lately. Yeah. So if there's one less thing that you can bully a kid about, I'm all for that. Plus, hunger is a major issue across many communities. And if you can help out with the kids that are getting some meals at school, then that would be great.
And it's currently at public schools.
Right.
And in consideration of this new bill that would make it permanent, Brian Broderick, executive director of the Michigan Association of Non-Public Schools, and the Michigan Catholic Conference also urged lawmakers to consider adding private schools to the policy, which you can imagine what the cost of that would do.
Right.
So there you go.
Interesting. Yeah. We'll see what ends up happening with that. It's a Senate Bill 500, I believe is what it is. So you want to check that out, get some more research in. We'll get that to you. Coming up here in just a little while, we'll catch you up on what's going on at moodyonthemarket.com. Quite a few things, right?
KitchenAid Senior PGA looking for volunteers.
Could it be you?
Could it be you?
We'll talk about it here in just a few minutes. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Where do you go when you need to host a social event for the entire office? Whether it's a team celebration, an employee relations and camaraderie event, or an end-of-the-year party, Pete's Cider Social is the venue for you. There's always a delicious hard cider on tap for everyone's individual tastes. Gather your team for hard ciders, bowling, and good times at Pete's Cider Social. To book your party, email events@petescider.com.
You love going out to eat, so I suggest you check out Dining Deals, the website where you can buy certificates to local food joints at 50% off. Places like Verde Juice Box, $10 certificate, $5. AJ's Uptown Bar and Grill, $10 certificate, $5. Joey C's Pizzeria, yep, $10 certificate, $5. Crazy King Burrito, $20 certificate, merely $10. Subway in Coloma, $25 certificate, $12.50. TJ Sports Bar and Grill, $30 certificate, now $15. To purchase your certificate, simply visit diningdeals.com and you're ready to save.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Watching your hard-earned dollars fly out the window on healthcare costs is so frustrating. But here's some great news. If you were just notified that your Medicare costs are increasing, a program out there can really help you with your medical bills, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. MediShare 65 Plus. It's not insurance. Members actually say it's better. It's a Christian healthcare community that aligns with your faith and where people encourage and pray for you. And MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. You choose any Medicare provider, and you get telehealth access anytime you need it. And this is great, too. Unlike health insurance, you can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. So don't get stuck with increasing costs. Call MediShare 65 Plus and find out how much you can save. Call 888-SHARE-89. That's 888-SHARE-89. 888-SHARE-89.
It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
When you want to know Southwest Michigan's business, you can find it at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. And you can stream us live at our Facebook page and our YouTube if you want to watch that. I know Jocelyn's was watching a little bit ago.
Hi, Jocelyn.
But then she said, I'm not going to watch it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't text her that I knew she was watching. I didn't know. I don't always see the people that are watching. But anyways, your Moody on the Market update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles. And we're how many months away from the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship?
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many. Once again, in 2024, area golf fans, as well as people who simply enjoy time outside in Michigan's Great Southwest, will have an opportunity to volunteer for the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. It's happening in May, the 22nd through the 26th at Harbor Shores in Benton Harbor. And last year, in 2022, almost 1,100 people volunteered.
Dang.
That's a lot. 363 of them being from the St. Joe Benton Harbor area. There are many reasons to volunteer, and we learned the details from a statement from the Senior PGA organizers.
Yeah, they're seeking 1,200 golf fans and community supporters to ensure the event's success and get some exciting perks by volunteering at the event. You can apply. We got a link for you there. But they said from everything from managing the scoreboard to serving concessions, even assisting with golfers inside the ropes, which that's cool.
Yeah.
Volunteers are critical to the success of this major championship. That's what Brandon Haney, the championship director of the 84th KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, says. And they didn't even mention it. You might get on TV.
Yeah.
Because this thing is televised on like Golf Channel and all that. So
I want to do the scoreboard. Can I do the scoreboard?
How good at math are you?
Well, I mean, if as long as it's by ones or no more than 5,
and they're just going to tell you, they're like,
to do it.
Hey, blah blah blah's at -1 now.
Move this name up a little bit. Move this name down.
It can't be that hard.
No.
I just want to be the whatever the guy that the marshals, the hole marshals that say like, hey, be quiet, please.
The quiet sign.
But yeah, there's all kinds of fun jobs. And really, they could not do this event without the volunteers.
No.
I mean, that's what makes this thing run smoothly.
I had no idea they have 1,100 volunteers.
The crazy part is that, they come from our community, but some people will travel from all parts of the United States to be a part of this tournament because, one, they get to be a part of an amazing golf course.
Yep.
Hang out in an amazing community for a few days and then see some great golf. That's a win-win-win.
That's like golf groupies.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Is their golf groupies?
It's like, well, let's see. This season we'll follow the Dave Matthews Band. Next season we'll go with Senior PGA.
Yeah, we'll hang out with like Ernie Els or John Daly or any of those players that are going to be there. So,
for more information on the 2024 KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship and how to volunteer and get involved, there is a link on our website, moodyonthemarket.com. Apparently, there are more than 20 committees to choose from.
Yeah, there's quite a lot.
You've informally signed up, but you haven't signed your name.
I have not
yet.
signed on the dotted line.
Okay.
Because I will be busy. We will be busy that week because our plan is to do the show.
Yes.
At least a couple of days over at the tournament. So I said, hey, if you can work around my schedule, and that's the cool thing too, is they will work around your schedule.
Yeah.
You pick a few times. There's a ton of times for you to choose from. They just ask for you to work a few shifts.
Yeah.
And so it's flexible. So if you think, oh my gosh, I got to take off work for this, I can't do that. They'll work with you.
I wonder, well, if I can't do the scoreboard and you're doing the quiet sign, maybe they can put me in the KitchenAid tent where they're doing the food with the celebrity chefs.
See, they're talking about
fun.
putting me in the community showcase tent.
Oh.
Because what better thing to showcase in the community than a fine award-winning program? But they also that's usually right across the midway from that demonstration. I did want to be the food tester.
Yeah.
Like, can I just make sure this food is good before we hand it out to the people in the audience?
I have an idea for the organizers. So if they're listening right now, this is the idea. Let's do the morning show from the food tent, and we can talk about breakfast omelets pretty much all morning.
Okay,
let's do that.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, it would be
breakfast
nice.
is already built into the show.
Yeah,
let's make it happen.
And I can give out my French onion soup recipe.
I don't think they want it.
That I got my Gruyere cheese for in Wisconsin.
Oh, all right.
It's good stuff.
Well, if you want to check out this story and more, you can check it out at moodyonthemarket.com and the app. Your update's brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you. IMS Insurance Management
Jocelyn said, I was watching for like 20 minutes and you didn't say anything. But I will say, for clarity,
yes,
I see that people are watching, but I don't see who that person is.
Okay.
So I don't always see that. So in my defense, because I always have to come to my defense. But anyways, hope you're having a great day. A little gloomy today. Don't know when the sun's going to be popping out. Hopefully at some point.
It's a great day for photos.
Yeah.
Because the light's evenly dispersed by the clouds.
Oh, yeah. Get some more senior pictures done with your son.
He's already on me about, hey, did you develop the disposable camera photos? I said, hey, I bought the camera you developed.
Right. Swing by the pharmacy and go get your photos developed.
I'm going to have to go check in and see if they've got like a 1 hour photo or something.
Yeah,
Do they
probably.
do that anymore?
I don't know. Because I know they have the printers everywhere. But I don't see usually you used to always have at least 1 or 2 people working in the back developing photos all day. I don't know how that works these days.
Yeah.
So interested to learn more
We'll see how it goes.
because the disposable camera is starting to make a comeback. At least the Polaroids are.
Love the Polaroid. And they've outfitted it with a new high-end lens.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Like does zoom and all that other crazy stuff.
I don't know what it does, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
It's probably really expensive.
It looks cool, and then they put new colors on all of them, and it's just all fancy now.
Yeah. Probably costs the same as a new iPhone.
Oh, Jocelyn did comment. Oh, I didn't even see these. These were when we were talking about the knee injury stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, no, not the knee.
Oh.
So
yeah, it was the knee.
It was the knee.
It was,
and it was not good.
No.
All right, everybody. You have a great day. We will talk to you again soon. Back here tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, all that stuff. All right. Have a good one.
See ya.